Hi, Drew. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So today I want to talk about how your monthly payment is affected by going up $10,000 or down $10,000 from the list price. So I know this happened to me when I was buying one of my houses. And at the time, I wasn't a realtor, and someone came to me, and the seller was so stuck on getting their list price. And I was like, it was a buyer's market. So I was like, we should offer, I think it was $20,000 less because it was sitting there for a really long time.
Mhm.
And we made an offer, they wouldn't budge. And my realtor came to me and said, do you realize that that's really not much a difference in your monthly payment? Like it was less than 100,000 or $100 a month. And I said, oh, okay. So are we really going, if we really want this house, are we willing to pay that extra $20,000 and pay what $100 a month? But you have the actual calculations. And I think that's something, especially right now in the seller's market, that you have to consider. If you offer $10,000 over list price, how would that affect your monthly payment, right?
Right.
So, Drew, you have the answer for us.
I do. There's a couple different ways you can do it. Obviously, you can just plug it into the actual loan calculator, but I actually use a Excel spreadsheet that has like an amortization table and whatnot, and it kind of gives me good numbers that I can use as I move forward to kind of generalize how a loan would look. And so I'll actually share my screen. I'll show you what I use as my quick cheat sheet. Um, so this is just an Excel spreadsheet. It's got amortization tables all the way down. I have 6 of them just so I can do kind of a couple at a time, playing with a couple numbers. And something that helps me, at least especially when I'm talking to people, is knowing how much $100,000 or even $10,000 can affect your payment. So let's assume that you were doing uh $10,000 over asking price with 20% down. So that would mean your loan would go up by $8,000. And so here I just put in, 8,000. Is that 8,000 or 8? On 30 years, 7%. That's roughly what we're looking at. This isn't a rate quote, obviously. But just generally speaking, so that'd be about $50 a month. That's what $8,000 comes out to, a little bit more. I actually have a more broken out one. And over here in the tiny little corner is my quick math equation that I use in my head when I'm talking to people kind of away from the computer. And if you're an Excel guru, then you'll know what you're looking at. But essentially what I do is I assume about $675 at the current market rate for 100,000. So as you can see, it's not going to be exact. 100,000 at 7% is 665, 7.25 is going to be a little bit above 675, but it's good rough numbers. You can even just assume 700 if you want, if that's what you want to do and kind of play it safe for easy numbers. But over here is my example of, a $500,000 loan amount. So again, if you're putting, okay, whatever, roughly 10% down on 550 loan or what have you. I do about 675 times the number of 100,000. So in this case, it's 5. And then I just times 0.0015. So about 0.15% of that total loan amount to get the taxes and insurance. You can just do 0.1% if you want. So 500, add $500 a month, 500,000, 500. I do a little bit more because I want to add in, possibility of mortgage insurance, possibility of higher taxes than I expect. There's also homeowners insurance, but this gets you a rough idea of what your total payment's going to be. And so, about 4,000, maybe a little bit more than 4,000. And really what you can do is rather than doing it by the hundreds, if you're looking at your offer price, just think about it as every 10,000. And then you can kind of extrapolate from that exactly what differences you're going to have. And so in this case, going back to pretty much, this is roughly the 675 number, $67 a month. Add an extra $10,000 to your loan, you're going to pay an extra $67 a month. And it's often, a lot of times people are asking me, hey, what if I had $5,000 more of loan amount? And I'm very happy to help, very happy to do this calculation for you. But if you're not looking for, waiting for me to give each individual scenario, I can basically provide you one scenario where you have your loan amount. And then you can kind of take it and look at rough numbers going up and down using something like this. You can find these calculators online. I'd be happy to send anyone this one that I use here. It's really easy to use. You can adjust it. See here, I was looking at, how if I wanted to pay off a HELOC, actually, because I put it at 10%. That was relatively small to get myself an extra 5% down on a $700,000 house. I was saying, okay, if I want to pay that HELOC down in 1 year, how could I do it? And this would be your payment, about $3,000 a month to get that $34,000 down.
Wow.
The interest, it breaks out the principal and interest, kind of the difference between what you're paying the bank and what you're paying yourself. And also, just as a quick summary, while I have you on the screen, I'll show, my dog's whining. Kind of the typical loan, really what it looks like right now with interest rates where they are, about $3,000 a month versus $400 in your first couple payments. So you're paying a lot more towards interest. And as you get, obviously, with those lower interest rates, you can see, we're at what, 333.70 or so. If I drop this down to, let's say 5%, probably what you can refinance to in the future, then it saves you, I don't remember what my first number was, $700 a month, something like that.
Yep.
And so you can also use it to kind of calculate what you really are hoping for your payment, what you're hoping for rates to go to, and in the future when you refinance. And maybe you can look at this and say, oh, rates are high right now, but I'll refinance. But if you look at this and you see the 5% number and you think, that payment's still a little bit high for me, then that gives you kind of more of a future look into everything. And so I'm sorry, I went a little bit off track from your original question. But yeah, ultimately, having, adding a small amount to your loan amount, well, small is relative, small in the scheme of a mortgage. $10,000 is, of course, a lot of money. It doesn't change a whole bunch. $10,000, 75, 60, $67, something like that.
It's less than going out to dinner with my family right now.
Yeah, once a month. Yeah, it means you. I mean, I've noticed, if I'm going out to dinner in the Seattle area, if I get out of there for 2 digits, I am excited between me and my partner. So
yeah, no, I very rarely can get out of there for 3 digits with 4 people. So,
oh yeah, 4 people. Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
But it's not intangible, 60 something bucks a month. It adds up, but in reality, it helps you budget, and if it helps you get that house, get that appreciation from the home, and start building that equity, it really is pretty monumental.
Yeah. Well, I liked your comment about, switching it to 5% too, because there are a lot of sellers out there still offering seller credits. And so doing a buy down, and you can get it down, maybe not to 5 right now, but definitely in the 6s, to getting it down to 1%, and having the seller help you with that can definitely help. And that, that's when you come to Drew and you play around with the numbers and see where that buy down would best assist you, whether it's buying down the rate or, using it somewhere else. So, but yeah, no, I love the graph. Good job. And the color coordinating, that was right up.
I need to color coordinate. If it's just a bunch of numbers on the screen, I completely get lost in it. I need everything highlighted in their colors and their brackets. And
I was very impressed, Drew. That was very good. So
it was an easy ad, but it helps me keep everything in line and understand what I'm looking at.
Nice. Well, thanks for sharing with that. And then anything else you wanted to add today?
I think that's it for now.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing what we have to talk about next week. Bye, everyone on Facebook.
Bye.